music coming. Wait, hold up. Where is that? We got a technical difficulty. Bait me? Okay. You want to debate me about relationships? Let's go. Hey, hey. Hey, Apollo New and my panel. I am so happy for them to join me tonight and having fun. So I'm gonna bring them in one by one. So the first person. I'm coming. I'm adding people. We got Karen. This is the most people on Facebook. Bear with me. This is the most people I've ever had. This conversation deserved it. We got. You are going to be. And May Rain, we have you. Soon as you come in. Hey, 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 hey,
hey.
Cheers, cheers, cheers. We got our drinks tonight.
I don't have no liquor tonight. I'm still in the office.
Oh, but it's okay. It's okay, y'all.
That's all right. I'll get it when I get home. I'm gonna catch up when I get home.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight. These people like that I chose. This is a good group, and we are talking tonight about the meme. And it says, if you're in a relationship, hold on, just in case y'all can't see me. It says, if you're in a relationship, does it require you, or do you have to go? No, is it okay to go 24 hours without speaking to your mate? And so I started this debate about yesterday, and I came back today and I was like, you hoes want to debate me? Because I was the majority, I was in the minority. Nobody saw it my way, right? I gotta take off this squirrel fur. But I'm sweating like I'm fresh off the plantation. But yeah, so I was like, let's have a conversation about this and really just honestly being real. Like, it was interesting to see the different perspectives. And so what I want to do is I want to ask everyone where they stand with it. So we can kind of, so the viewers can know who stands where. So I'm going to start at the top, like how we appear, and I'm going to go around. So Ben, do you agree? Is it okay to go 24 hours without speaking? Yes or no? We'll go there and then we're going to go deeper.
No.
Okay, Anthony Malcolm, is it okay to go 24 hours without speaking? Yes or no?
Hey.
Okay. Okay. CJ, is it okay to go 24 hours without speaking? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, Karen, is it okay to go 24 hours without speaking?
Sorry.
Well, goddamn. Christina, is it okay to go 24 hours without speaking?
No.
May Rain, is it okay to go 24 hours without speaking?
Listen, you give me a good 30 minutes and I'm like, tell that bitch I said hi.
So is that a yes or no?
That's a no.
It's not okay.
You know that's not okay. No,
okay.
Well, maybe if we're dating, but I'm married, so it's
different. Okay. We gonna get into all. Okay.
I don't know how the dating that game goes down.
Sizzle, if you're in a relationship, is it okay to go 24 hours without speaking? Yes or no?
Absolutely, it's okay to go 24 hours without speaking because everybody ain't people persons. People. They may be tired of your ass.
Okay. All right. So for all my no's, Why is it not okay? Because it's okay for me. Just to let the record be known, it is okay for me. We don't have to speak every 24 hours. So for the nose, why is it not okay? Ben.
Because, and this is if you're in a married or serious relationship. If you're just dating, it's okay. But if you're married or serious, we should be connected. There should be no reason, unless it's already known, or you're traveling on some 20-hour flight, that we are not in. Even if it's a text, hello, I love you, whatever. But it should be no reason why. What is the reason why you're not communicating? That's the issue. You don't want to speak to your intimate partner within a 24-hour period. It's a deeper issue other than a higher.
Okay. So, who else want to go in? Who else want to go in? Would they know?
I'll chime in. For me, it really has less to do with like the substance of the conversation and more to do with a check-in. Like Ben said, this is strictly with between like serious relationships, marriage, stuff like that. But if you're an adult and you're not living at home with your parents, you're really either just independent on your own or you're with your significant other, you should have someone in your life that every 24 hours knows where you are.
Exactly.
And we live in a very, very, very interesting world, very dangerous world. So for you to set the pattern of, oh, I can go 24 hours without speaking to my mate or anyone for that matter, that leaves a very, very large window for something unfortunate to happen to you and no one really take notice because you're the type of person that can disappear for 24 hours and nobody thinks that's happening. So it has zero to do with like a conversation. Like I don't really care about whether or not we're having conversations, but if I check in with you once in a while with a text or a call, say hey, good morning, good night, that's really all I require in regards to like if you're out of town or if I know you're busy.
What's your name?
CJ.
Oh,
you got a hit list. Okay, my bad.
Anybody want to add to that? Because I got a rebuttal for that.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to add to that because I was going to say the same thing that he was about to stated earlier. It's more of a protection thing. Like you said, this world is crazy. You got to know, it's more of building a time frame of like if anything was to happen, at least you'll know right up to the point what's going on. Their location, things in that manner. It's also, just a form of protection, making sure that you feel like she has some kind of security, that you're concerned about her. And as long as a woman knows that, then, it flows real good with the relationship.
is that Anthony Malcolm?
Everything else is pretty much,
taking notes.
I'm gonna be married by the end of this post. I'm trying to find somebody to look out for me. Call me every hour.
Okay, so I feel
And it
like
goes both ways. It's not just about the woman. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's not just about the woman being protected. It's about knowing that if I go missing, there's at least one person in my life that's gonna be like, oh, I ain't heard from dude for 24 hours. Let me go call somebody about this. It's about establishing a pattern, B.
I check on you.
So why is y'all brain going the first thing? Like what happened in your life
That's
It has nothing to do with
Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with it.
That's
just about
exactly
being
what.
smart. It's about being a smart person in a crazy world. Like, why would you not want to have because if it's not 24 hours, at what point in your being not contact does the person that cares most about you in the world would start to see red flags? If you're saying that, we can go 24 hours without seeing each other, then after 36 hours, if they haven't heard from you, then are they worried? After 48 hours, are they then worried? Like, so much can happen if you've created a system or a pattern in which people are used to not hearing from you for extremely long periods of time. Then it's not even about what's happened to me in the past. It's just being smart. Nobody got control over you. It's just nice to know that somebody out there knows where you are.
Don't raise your hand, just jump in. 'Cause if you raise
No,
your hand,
somebody
you have to
doesn't-
get in.
I would definitely not interrupt Future Babe. But what I'm saying is, I did read. Now I know I'm sound real hypocritical, but I did read on the initial post today, Janae. Somebody had said something that made a whole lot of sense. You can be busy, you can be all tied up, but I believe she said, you can be at the red light in the bathroom while you're in the middle of whatever you're doing. You have to stop and eat. You can shoot a text. You can do something. That I kind of felt that you can.
Yeah.
At least let me know you okay. Even if you're not checking on me, you can let me know you're okay. So I know I sound like a hypocrite, but she made sense when she said it, and it kind of brings me, what he said brings me to, leave me alone. I'm okay.
So my thing is, guys, you know, it's not about safety for me. Like, I mean, you know, you have several people in your life that knows where you are. You know, your coworkers will send an investigator if you don't show up to work. So I'm not gonna lie and act like I'm just worried about you, and that's why I want to know where you are. If we're having unprotected sex and you have 1,000 other priorities going on in your life that you can tend to, what I'm tired of is people acting like they're fucking President Barack Obama, who has time for his friends and family, but these regular ass people acting like they don't have time to pick up the phone and check on people that they care about.
Hey, you better say it. Hey,
If you're in a relationship, like, don't play with me. 24 hours. Like, I mean, what is your, you know, what is your, I don't even want a time frame. I want to know that every day, not that you're checking in on your mother, but that every day I am a part of your thought process. I want to know that. That's what separates me from the 30 other bitches in your life. That's what separates me. You gonna check in with me.
she
I think
said
it's even deeper than that, right?
Okay.
I think it's even deeper than that. I think it's like it's in today's day, we spend more time on our businesses than we do on our relationships. Our business, our businesses have plans. If we're going to school, if we're going to college, we make a plan. You got a financial plan for your life. But we out here doing relationships like they're just, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just some other regular thing. And the truth of it is that for me, checking in is partly about safety. It's really about creating a relationship, like a parameter for relationships, for a successful relationship, and sitting down with my partner and saying, hey, I'm the type of person who I may need some time to myself, but if I need time to myself, I'm gonna let you know. We're gonna have a conversation about that. So I mean, we try to like take relationships and stick them in this box where it's like relationships will always be like this. I never want to have to check in every 24 hours. Well, sometimes I may need a break. But if that's the case, it's a conversation. It's a, hey, if you are not comfortable with not talking to me for 24 hours, even though I need space, what can I do? Like, when can we talk? Can we talk first thing in the morning? Then maybe I'll just call you again in the morning, or maybe I'll send you a text or something. And it's about not only saying when you use your time, but it's about creating those relationship parameters that allow you to have a successful relationship. Because out here these days, in the streets, people do not want to see your relationship succeed. And I can tell you that they don't want it. So to be able to check in with each other on a regular basis and get accustomed to that, where you're like, hey, this is what's going on in my day. Let me include you in what's going on in my day. It makes it much easier to have a successful relationship and to keep those outside influences from coming. Just good relationship hygiene practices.
How long are these relationships?
I second that. And for me personally, I second her, and I can't see her name, the one who started out with the deeper than rap, the deeper than safety talk. I say for me, because I used to be a gangster, you know what I'm saying? So I would go 24 hours and whatever without talking to him, because my connection with him wasn't that strong. I didn't care. But for my husband, who I am with now, ain't no 24 hours, because that's how much
I care about you, and that's how much I want you to know I care about you, and I want you to know. I want to know that you care about me just as much. Like they said, the 5 seconds, 10 minutes, whatever. Hey, good morning, beautiful. I miss you. Whatever. I'm doing this. Whatever. It's a check in, but not really a check in. It's a check in with our relationship, not just to check in with where I'm at or what you're doing. It's to check in that I still care about you. You know what I'm saying? You still bae, I'm still bae. That's what it is for me. Because before I can go 24 weeks without speaking to you, then you hit me up. Hey, how you doing? But you know what I'm saying? Because I just didn't care that much about those relationships. Actually, no other relationship but this one. TBH. To be honest, that's what
Okay,
I think, Kels, the wind is hitting your mic, and so it sounds windy. I think you're outside. Two, it all depends on personality types as well, because I know couples that live in separate states, that live in separate households, and see each other a couple times a week. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you, Ben.
Yeah, so it all depends on your personality type. That's not my personality type, but I absolutely understand those personality types. And that's why it's so important to understand who you are coming into a relationship. Because if you are the type that you don't need to talk to somebody, your love language is not touch, your love language is not acts of kindness, and you don't need that affection, then you and I are not going to be a match. And so that needs to be set up at the beginning, because it works for some and not for others. It just don't work for me.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so I think Sherry is another person who agreed, and Angela's like in between. But for me, the reason why it doesn't matter to me, because to me, ghosting, what I was seeing in the comments is like ghosting and not speaking every 24 hours are two different things to me. So if we're in the same household, we live together, and you just walk out the door for 24 hours, that's different from you setting the expectation, saying, hey, I'm going on this trip, or I'm doing this, and you letting me know that it's going to be tough to communicate. That's not a problem. And so for some people in the comments, that's why I think I was annoyed in making the comments. I was like, so y'all telling me if a bitch on a trip or they working, you have a problem if they don't communicate with you for 24 hours when you already know what they're doing? Like, I was like, what is that about? And I was like, what is in you that needs that possessive type of control? I see it possessive and controlling in like an ownership thing where somebody needs to check in with you. And just for the sake of our conversation, when I say relationship, I'm thinking of like boyfriend, girlfriend, or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, like a serious relationship, not somebody you're dating. I'm talking about somebody who I'm like, I'm choosing to do this with you. We're being intentional about how we care about each other, how we live together. For me, it is not necessary. Like, even my boyfriend, he'll tell me when he's leaving the house, and I'm like, you don't have to tell me that. I'm not your mama. Like, I don't need to know every time you leave the house. I just need to know when you're coming in, because I get scared if it sounds like somebody just breaking in. But that's me. I communicate that expectation. But if he goes on a guy trip and he doesn't hit me up, I'm okay with that, because I know what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah. And
I need a good vibe. If you leave my house, I need you to say goodbye. If you leave my house, say goodbye. And then two, if the first thing you think when you can't get in touch with your significant other is that they're cheating, then you have a problem too.
And
so Jay,
Hey guys,
if he goes on a trip, you're telling me that you wouldn't want him to call you to let you know that he landed safely? That's it, just that call.
He could.
You wouldn't want that.
He could, but here's the thing: even throughout the trip, like, he doesn't have to call me every day while he's gone. Like, that's not a problem for me.
No, we're not saying that. You're saying 24 hours. So I'm saying, if you're saying on a trip, he flies to his destination within the 24 hours, because he ain't unless he's going to, I don't know where the hell you're going when you flying more than 24 hours, but just to land on the destination. As soon as he lands, he hits you up like, babe, I arrived safely. Everything good at the house? Yeah, everything good. Okay, I'm good. That's it. I'll holler at you. You're telling me you wouldn't? That's not necessary for you?
You don't even want him to say bye going on the trip.
No, I said leaving the house. But to me, I said, but see, that's something different. Like, that's letting me know that you landed. But here's the thing. It depends. What time did the flight land? Am I asleep? Am I up? Like, it also, like, it could be so many factors in that. What I'm saying is, I don't need you to constantly check in with me. And if we go 24 hours without speaking, without any type of communication, but I know we're good and we have that understanding, like it's not going to be a problem. And when you do hit me up the next day, it's not going to be attitude, it's not going to be shade, it's not going to be, well, where you was at and who you was with and why you ain't blah 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 blah. Like it's not gonna be pressure for you. Like, and here's the thing, I know some men who feel like when they don't check in, or women, it's like, oh gosh, I gotta, like, you shouldn't feel that to me in a relationship, like, oh my gosh, I missed that check-in, I'm in trouble.
You shouldn't feel that, but I agree with Ben. You need to be with somebody who matches your energy, like somebody who doesn't mind, you know. But I find a lot of relationships out there, people want to get with somebody that thinks of things from a totally different perspective, and then make me feel insecure when it's not about insecurity at all. It's not, I'm trying to be your mama. It's about the fact that if we don't vibe on this level and you don't feel a sense of something pulling you to communicate with me in the same way that I feel that pull to communicate with you, then we may not be compatible.
That's true.
You may not be compatible because there's no way that you're going to travel anywhere and I don't just talk to you just to shoot the breeze. And you know, one thing that really it didn't change my perspective, but it confirmed my perspective on it a little bit, is the book He's Just Not That Into You. And I think everybody in relationships should read that book because it speaks on people being so busy that they can't check in. Like, there are billionaires that run multi-million-dollar industries that call to check on their spouse on a daily basis, not feeling out of obligation, but like, hey, how are you? How's your day going?
Yeah.
You just want to know that the people you love are okay when you love them on that level. That's how I feel, but that's my love language. It may not be somebody else's, but I want somebody that matches my level of thirst. Okay.
Sherry, you didn't get a chance to come in yet.
So from what I understand, from what the post was saying, I'm just going by the 24-hour period thing, because I feel like anybody in a committed relationship past 24 hours, yeah, you're gonna be feeling some type of ways. But in the 24-hour period, I have been that person, not on purpose, where I went out of town in a whole different time zone. Mashed, stuff happened between bags getting lost, all type of shit, phone connection, just mad stuff. And I'm like, damn, it hit me like I ain't even call or hit my peoples up since I got here. Like, it was the next day, but it was so many different things that went on. But I feel like Janae said, it shouldn't be a point where I'm like, oh my God, I didn't check in. That was about to be an issue. It's about to be a problem. And something as short as the 24-hour period. Now, for y'all people that live with people and is married, that's a little different because y'all sharing each other's space. But I feel like you're in a committed relationship, but y'all don't live together, especially something as far as going out of town or something like that. It can't happen because I've been that person. And I am a person that I like to talk to somebody if I'm into them, at least once, even if it's just a text throughout the day. But it can't happen without it being like, oh, you don't care about that person or you don't love that person. It's just, for me, I unplug sometimes as well.
Me too.
There's days that I just be like, I ain't answering the phone, I ain't doing shit because it's a lot.
Are we talking about like the one-off? Are we talking about like one-off, like, okay, this happened and maybe in this 24-hour period, because this happened, I didn't call? Or are we talking about like in your relationship, like there's gonna be like 5, 6, 20 times out of the month that y'all ain't speaking for 24 hours?
Exactly. Nah, if you got 5 or 6 days,
you know, say like
out of a 30-day period.
You know what I mean? Like if my significant other don't call me, like if he doesn't call me in 24 hours, like I know something's wrong. Because like in our relationship, even when we were dating, like in our relationship, like it's 24 hours you're gonna call. But it's also because like we know it's so easy for communication to slip. Like, for a fact, if you have like somebody that you haven't spoken to in a long time, it's hard. It's easy for like you to be like, oh man, I haven't spoken to you in what? You know what I mean? And it's so simple for us to, especially in relationships, lose each other and lose communication. And I think that constant touch is just like, because life is so busy, that constant touch just allows you to insert periods of time when you're like, you know, like, hey, I'm this is what's going on with me. I'm frustrated right now, and or whatever. It just, the communication. I think communication in relationships is like the most important thing. So to be able to keep that constant communication going, it's just setting up good practices. And if you intend to be with that person, let's say your girlfriend and boyfriend, girlfriend and girlfriend, whatever your situation is, if you intend for that to be a long-term thing, then you're going to have to know that maybe that works for right now, they're not calling or talking for 24 hours. But as you progress in your relationship, then maybe it has to, you know, it has to change. But
yeah, and that was actually what I was gonna bring up in regards to, because like, you know, Janae, she brings up the trip, or she brings up like, you know, business, like, it's like, yo, you're talking about all of these like extenuating circumstances, but the way that the meme was presented, it made it seem like, oh, is that just kind of like how it is? Like you said, like 20,
Right.
like 15 days out of the month, you can go a whole 24 hours without talking to that person. Like, yo, that's
Right.
crazy. There's always going to be a special circumstance. Like if you're taking a vacation in Cambodia, I don't expect you to hit me up every day.
Exactly.
But if half of the month you're gonna go like 24, like I feel like not, like especially nowadays, like with the way society is working, like people are so like they make, there's such an emphasis on independence. Like, oh, I don't want to be, you know, I got to be independent. It's like, yo, you still like don't try to be so independent that you lose human connections, or that you, or like you said, when you have different love languages, and you have a situation where it's like you're trying so hard to not appear like you're under someone else's control, that you're just losing the common courtesy of like, yo, I want to see how you're doing today. Like if I, like, you know what I mean? If I have great news that came up, like, and I want to hit you up and let you know about it, like, oh, I'm not gonna feel some kind of way because you're the type of person that doesn't want to get hit up every day. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, yeah, you got to match that person's energy. You got to understand their love language. But like all of the examples that you're hearing when people try to say like, oh, well, what about this? It's like, you're not taking trips every day. You're not taking vacations every week. Like, so if you're at home, if we're in the same town, and you find and you try to go out of your way to not communicate with me in at least a text message kind of way for 24 hours, then yeah, I'm going to definitely question like what your commitment level is, or like how serious you're taking this. So yeah, I'm definitely on the same page as
the time that I was not. Oh no, go ahead. You haven't spoken in a minute. Go ahead.
In my situation, it's a little bit different.
Chime in.
Number one, I never been in a relationship ever. Number two, ever in my life. Number two, I'm a bit spoiled, or what your grandparents call set in their ways. I do get irritated with people rather quickly, but that's not where I'm going with this. Like I think CJ and May said the same thing. They talked about the structure of the relationship. He would know in the beginning that, like you said, I'll detach. Now, there's also that circumstance, like with me, my job don't allow me. There's going to be days when I don't call, or you're going to be trying to call me and I can't answer because of my job. You know, so there's going to be times where you don't get to talk to me, even if it's late at night. You might be in bed or something by the time I get off. So there's going to be those situations. But as far as traveling goes, I think that's a reach, because even in traveling, once you land and you tell me you're good, deuces, let me know. I mean, you can call and let me know how all the activities you did throughout the day, but I won't be beat by it. You can call me and let me know you're on your way back, or you landed to come get you. That's it. That's all. You know, I don't require that much attention that you just got to check in with me. I never want anybody to feel pressed with me. Yeah. I won't feel that way with you. And my mind ain't good enough for me to remember to call you, because you say you want me to check in every day. Now I'm turned off. I don't even want to talk to you no day no more, because I don't like being boxed into nothing.
Well, if someone says that you need to check in every day, that's gonna make you feel some type of way. But if you just are calling each other and you have that type of relationship, then I don't have to tell you that you need to check in with me. It's because it's a thing that we do. And I want to go back to the traveling as well. I'm with you on that. If you get there and we talk, whatever, I'm not going to be pressed either to know everything that you're doing. But to go back to her with the, she had a cell phone service, this and that. If you're going through that much, and with my significant other, if I'm going through something and I'm having issues, I'm going to want to talk to you, because you are my I ain't gonna say saving grace, but you are my I'm gonna be able to vent to you, man. All this stuff just happened to me today, and most likely you gonna lift me up from whatever just happened. So now that is the check-in, and it is me getting lifted up, and it is you knowing what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm with all of y'all with the, it's not gonna be 15 days either out the month with the 24 hours. Sometimes things will happen when we won't be able to talk for 24 hours. And if you tell me I have to check in with you, that is going to be a problem. Don't tell me I have to. It's just a thing that we do. You know,
if you're considering it a check-in, and you have to say check in with me,
right?
Y'all not together anyway. This is just who we are. This is what I do. I think about you. I just think about you. If you tell me, mine, I am yours. And so if we have to consider this a check-in, then bye.
Yeah, I don't like that word. I don't like that.
You might last 1 week with me.
The only times where I did not check in was when I really wasn't into them.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I mean, it sounded like such a task.
Right. What I'm trying to figure out is when is it not okay? So you start off a relationship, you're getting to know each other, you're talking all the time. Second, into the honeymoon boo-boo phase, y'all talking all the time. You move from honey boo-boo phase to relationship seriousness, and now you're connected. When is it not okay not to check, be in communication within 24 hours? I'm just trying to figure out when is that okay.
During COVID, when I'm sick of you, when I'm tired of you, when I take me a solo COVID trip because I've been stuck in this mother.
But you know what? Somebody said that it is so easy to lose communication and to lose that connection. And I wanted to add to that. Huh?
You're good.
Oh, okay. Somebody said that it's so easy to lose that connection. And I wanted to add that it is too easy to check in. It's too easy to call somebody and let them know that, you know, your day is going good or bad. If I'm going through something chaotic, God forbid I go through the airport and lose my luggage. Like, I'm calling my wife. Like, I'm calling her in the midst of these crises. And I don't understand that other thing where it's like, listen, I lost my luggage. I can't talk to you.
What's your name?
Flight was wrong. I can't talk. My name?
Yes.
May.
You
yes,
don't know
May.
her name?
Say it, May. You better say it, May.
Look, and here's the thing. Come on.
Listen,
here's the thing.
I just asked my wife, I said, babe, do you need to talk to me every day? Like, you need to talk to us. I want to know. So she's sitting over there and I'm like, babe, I said, babe, do you need to talk to me every day? She was like, not just need to, I want to. So she did.
I have a question.
Okay, go, Sizzle. What happened?
What if you guys, that are serious, you definitely made you, right? I can't see nobody's name because I can't see shit. But anyway, what if you guys that are saying you're in this relationship and you want that communication or whatever, what if the tables turn and you calling that person and they don't want to be bothered with you? You got yourself a me.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I'll answer that. Let me answer that.
Babe,
so,
okay.
Right.
And I think this is pretty easy. Like, I feel like, you know, at the point of the meme is like you've already kind of settled into how things are going to be with your significant other, right?
Right.
So if we just started dating, right? We 5 months in, and you're already giving me vibes like, yo, that's just how I am. I'm not going to be hitting you up every day. Like, it's just not going to be a thing. And it's not like, or more so like, okay, so when you're just starting out dating and you do go days without speaking to that person, if those days aren't decreasing, like if the time between the time that you're talking to that person is not decreasing with the seriousness of that relationship or the seriousness that you feel the relationship is going, like if I'm like in month 7 and I'm like, yo man, I'm really feeling this girl right now, and she's not, and I'm still not getting that. Yeah, and I'm still getting like 24, 48, 72 hours between like time talking to him. First off, I'm gonna think she's not as into me as I'm into them. And two, I feel like my needs, like my love language is not being met. So it's not even like we're not even gonna get to that point in the relationship where I can call it serious if you're going that long without talking to me on a regular
So
basis.
y'all ain't never dated nobody that was busy, like for real?
But that's my point. No, listen. But that's my point. No, that's my point though.
Ain't nobody busier than me.
Hold on, that's my point though. That's my point. Because again, I respect anybody. I respect your hustle.
That's
but
right.
At the same time, you got to respect my option to not be in a relationship with somebody that's that busy. Like you don't have to be in a relationship with that person. So if you're saying like, oh, I got a job that requires me to be away for this much, you have the option to not get into a serious relationship with that person. It's that easy. Like
I think we're having a debate.
Okay, one at a time. What you saying, Jerry?
I think what people are forgetting is that when we keep talking about being busy, I've been a busy person, and the person I've been in a relationship was a busy person as well. But what you guys got to understand is when you guys have that connection and you know each other and y'all vibe like that, you guys soothe each other. So while you're going through a busy time during your job or your business, whatever that is, you're taking a break and calling that person actually takes a lot of stress off you. That's happening.
The perspective needs to be even different. The perspective needs to be the other way around. If you are that busy, then you should be making time to communicate with your significant
and you
other.
should not be. You shouldn't be with somebody. Listen, you shouldn't be with somebody that's not a bridge over troubled water for you. Somebody that's gonna stress you out and add to the stress of your day. I feel like, everybody that knows me knows, Sizzle, I am hella busy. This right here, I'm in the office right now. I'm really, really busy. But my wife is here with me. And it's not because she has to be or there's any type of obligation. Like we're in separate cars, but she's here because she wants, you got my stuff. Look at God. I think everybody on this panel got some Moonflower essentials.
Do I?
My candle in my room. I burned it earlier.
Yeah, so right now we're about to launch our breast cancer campaign. So it's a lot going on over here at Moonflower. Thank God for this space.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank y'all. But again, not out of obligation and not like, oh God, my wife, oh my God. No, it's like, babe, I want you here. And she wants to be here. Like we both got things going on, but that time is made out of love. And if you're not moving out of love, like if the person you with get on your nerves and so you need to unplug from the world and they're included in that world that you need to unplug from, damn, what kind of relationship are you in?
Well, I will say
that's not true. That's not true.
I'm saying that you don't take your time, but I'm saying that your spouse should be somebody that you lean into when you want. When I unplug, sometimes I want to unplug with my wife. Now, if I need a day to go and do the spa and do my self-care, that's something else, but it doesn't take 24 hours to do that either.
Absolutely.
Well,
and the thing, it's funny.
There is nobody and May and Karen and that is busier than I. I was in 2 to 3 weeks out of the month. Partly why I'm single and was single prior to COVID. I was never in LA to sit down and date somebody. I was always on the road. But when I was in a relationship where I got to my destination, I called, I'm FaceTime and looked at this beautiful view. I made time because I realized I wasn't there. So I had to do extra because I wasn't there physically with him. Secondly, if I'm not feeling it, and May, sometimes I'm moody, people know that. I want to get away from everybody.
What's your sign?
I'm Aries. I go in my room, don't nothing to me, but clear communication makes that work.
Yep.
It's one of my days. I don't want to be bothered. Now, if you offended because I'm having one of my days, we're not good for each other.
But that's
I need you to understand, but tell me that. Don't just
exactly
get an attitude. Let me know you're having your moment, and cool, I'm leaving you alone. And I also cannot stand, and I don't know, May, you might be mad at me for this too. I cannot stand.
What you hate? Matching outfits, honey. What you don't like?
Who can't go anywhere or be their own selves without their significant other. Like, if you May, I want you. Not say I have anything against your lovely wife. But if I want to hang out with May, I just want to hang out with May. I don't want to hang out with both of y'all.
Right, and that's fine. We don't mind that at all. Yeah, she said, and I have no problems with that. She never does.
I've watched you and read your posts, and through you, we've gotten to know your wife. All she wants you to do is leave her alone. Just get the hell on.
But here's the thing for me and the people that think like me, and I see Jessie DeFreitas is in the comments, and she thinks like me too. It's like, for me, why is it somebody who thinks like me? Why am I seen as I don't care, I don't want to communicate, I don't want to be around that person? Because I can't go 24 hours or more without speaking to somebody that I may say, hey, I need my time. I want to be by myself. Me unplugging means of unplugging from you too. Why is that seen as I'm not in a committed relationship, or I don't love that person as much as you do, who want to be up under your person, or your love language is to always communicate? Because for me, I'm here. I'm building a life with you. I support you. I love you. We're in this together. We're building a life together. Does that not count? When the days I'm like, okay, I need to unplug from every fucking thing because that's just how I recharge. Why am I seen? Why are people like that seen as less than than you people who think the opposite way?
What
Yes, I did. You people.
What do you
Yes, I
mean,
did.
you people?
Your choice that's their trigger.
Baby, you said that.
All right, so
Your choice is their trigger.
And you know what? And I'll give you that, Janae. And also in regards to what Ben said. So if that's how you roll, like, I know introverts, it doesn't matter what kind of relationship you have with whoever, whether it's family, friends, romantic, whatever. Introverts to introverts, right? People are gonna want to, have their time to themselves. But again, that is established at the beginning of the relationship.
Right.
If you are with a like-minded individual, then that's what's going to work.
It's not a problem.
But again, if you are dating someone, if you've gone out on dates with people and they're getting that vibe from you, then you can't be mad if they decide not to pursue things to a more serious level. Like Janae, you clearly have made that arrangement or have that pattern and have that type of situation with your boyfriend because that's what y'all agreed on. So your relationship works for you, right?
Yes.
So it's not, there's no wrong way to do it,
right?
All I'm saying is that, like, and what triggered, I guess, what triggered the backlash from the meme was when you tried to compare our side to parental control, when in reality okay, but then you can't get mad when we say what yours look like to us. That's right. So critical. If you want to sit there and not accept how we do it and say, "Oh, it's your parents checking in on you," then don't be mad when someone says that it's because you don't love them. Like, understand that people are different, and people have to accept. Like, okay, you either accept it, or you can't come 2 years down the line and say, "Why are you not hitting me up every day?" When that's when that's how they've been for the last 2 years. You
and
know
then people do change in the relationship too. People change as well. They change, their circumstances change. A lot of things change in a relationship, but I don't want to be seen as an obligation. I'm not trying to parent you. I try to connect with you throughout the day. It ain't no big deal. I don't want, if I'm stressing you out, I'm lying because I know I stress my wife out, but I don't want to lie. Okay. She's sitting right here. I don't want to lie. I don't want it to be seen as a drag, I'm a lot, like I'm a Pisces. Pisces come with a lot, so you need two hands to hold me, baby. Saying I ain't no one-handed girl,
But that's fair. And I want everybody to chime in on this, because before we got on the live, I spoke to my best friend and my little cousin or whatever, and I was talking to her about this, and she was like, "Oh no." And I said this. I said, so as your family member, if you don't hear from me for a couple of days, am I lying in a ditch? Do you are you instantly worried about me and am I dead or do I not love you or something like that? So I'm like, what is that difference for y'all? Because to me, I mean, there are different levels of love, but I love people on like you, my family. I love you on a high level. So,
I think the difference is commitment. I mean, you're not in a committed relationship with your cousin. That's very different, and you know that your cousin is going to be there. You don't have to. I mean, you establish that connection, but it's very different when you are in a relationship. I think you are continually establishing a different type of security. And when I say security, like, don't get all bent out of shape over that word. But relationships are about continually establishing a system of security for another person. You're not necessarily the security blanket for your cousin. She may have a man or a woman that does that. So those days that you're not there, she may be completely fine. But to me, the position that my wife plays in my life and the same with hers, we're building something. We're building a system of security where you know that when nobody else is there, I'm there. When
anybody else want to add on to that? You all can have that.
And it again, all what May said depends on the relationship. I talk to my siblings either every day or every other day.
Right.
And 3 days go by and we haven't talked to each other. We calling, checking up. Well, I don't know. It's just how I deal with people. Anybody that's in my close circle, you're getting a text from me, you're getting a hey from me, and you're constantly on my heart and on my mind. So my significant other better be on my heart, and I better be on his.
Exactly.
I'm slightly different than Ben, because my family knows and has known for like ever that I am in other relationships. Janae, I'm just like you. There are times when I've had people in my house and I've looked at Chad and been like, I gotta go. I've had enough of all of this. I can't take no more. I have to excuse myself. And most of the people that I work with know that I'm like that. There comes a point in time when I gotta leave, because I can't take, I'm an empath, so I can't take in any more of people. And so like my siblings know that. And if I don't call them for 24 hours, they don't think I'm lying in a ditch. If I don't call, they won't call me unless it's something. But, with my husband, it's different because we're building it. Well, I mean, I guess my view is also different because I believe that if you come together with someone, like there should be a greater purpose for you to be together just than together. Right? So my husband and I are building an empire together. We're raising kids together. We've got 2 businesses and 1 coming up together. So it's not as much checking in with a parent as it is checking in with my ride or die. Like we have to, if we're going to be driving this, pulling this train together, I need to know, like we need to be so comfortable communicating with one another that I know. Now there are times when Chad will be like, I can't talk. I can't have, he's not a communicator like that. So there are times when he's just like, yeah, I'm doing 7 things. We can't have this conversation right now. And I have to like, let that be, So I think it's just a matter of being able to communicate, but it's also a matter of like, what's the goal of your relationship? If the goal of your relationship is more than just you and me, we gonna be together and we gonna lay our head down on the same pillow, and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go do my thing, and you're gonna get up and you're gonna do your thing, and then we come back together and we all right. If that's the goal of your relationship and it works, then it's fine. But if again, this comes back to like the first thing I said, which is we need to create plans for these relationships that we're in and stop just living them willy-nilly, because the conversations in the beginning, you, Janae, saying, yo, I'm the type of person that's like this. And him saying, I'm the type of person that's like this. We need to be having those conversations. I think too much in relationships, we get into relationships because, oh, you cute, oh, you fine, oh, I like that ass. You know what I'm saying? And then we're not trying to build a life together. I don't think it's right or wrong. I think anybody who's outside of your relationship needs to stay outside of your relationship.
Right.
But the point is, if it works for the two of you, have at it.
Yeah.
But the question is, does it work for the two of you, and do you really honestly know that? Are you bringing 100% and the other person bringing 100%, and then you could get together and freaking burn the world or build it?
Yeah.
Somebody
Actually
somebody in the comments said that it's women who need to hear from men every day, but men don't need to hear from women every day. My response to that is, if you don't want to check in with you, then you're not the only one.
Exactly.
That's not true. Anthony, what you say to that? What you say to that?
I said that's a blanket statement that I would never agree to. I don't like blanket statements. To each his own, you know what I mean? But like I say, May talked about it earlier when she was talking about how billionaires take time out and just to call their wife and spouse. I think a thing that we don't really realize is that a lot of people are raised in structured homes. We keep looking at it as a lot of us not being raised in a structured format, but a lot of us are raised in a structured format. So when you have a structured format in your life, you bring that also into your relationship. And some people have that structure. I remember my dad was very structured, and he's the one who kind of built structure in me. My mother wasn't all that structured. My dad was. So I gained that structure, and I applied that to different aspects of my life, and relationships was one of them. So like when you say call, I think we focus so much on calling instead of just saying a little simple text is a form of 24-hour communication. Whether, hey, I know it's late, I'm sending you this text. I know you sleep. I'm sending you this text to let you know that I'm okay. So by the time you wake up in the morning, you can either give me a call or I'll call you when I wake up. Simple as that. It's just little things like that that can just alleviate a lot of stress. And y'all went on with the mental stigma. I think we have a lot of mental stigma with words, like you were saying earlier about the parental and security. Just the word alone. I know people that have been in relationships for a long time, and then they finally put the marriage title on them, and then all of a sudden they divorce in like a year after, and they've been together for 20 years without the title. So I think we have like a mental stigma with certain words because we feel like those words come with a set of rules and laws, which really doesn't apply. It's all about individuality.
I want to say something as well. When we talk about unplugging and needing to unplug, I think there's something that we ignore a lot as a people right now. The fact that a lot of our time is poured into strangers. Every day, all day, we are pouring into strangers. We're on social media. We're watching stories. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on everything. And so when it comes to the real relationships that need our attention and need to be watered, we are emotionally unavailable. We are drained. We are tired. And then we start to introduce into our relationships like, I need to unplug. Okay? And so a lot of it is not understanding the energy that it takes to entertain other people's thoughts all day long. That is draining. So now, your spouse is tired, sick, need a break, need a whole day to process all of this, not necessarily from you or me from them or whatever it is, but we have to start to examine also, where are we putting our time? Where are we putting our emotions? Where are we putting our energy? I was listening to this podcast, and this is so weird because I wrote the words down that he said was creators of Facebook or one of these millionaires that had participated in the creation of Facebook and taking it to the level that it is now. And the person was asking him, or he was making the statement that he is regretful. Okay, he said because from the beginning they knew that some things would happen. Okay, and so he is very apologetic about some of the things that happened when this Facebook thing became a way of life. It became an environment of living, not just putting something here. No, a lot of us live here on Facebook. That's why you tired of your man at home. So one of the things that he said is that it was ripping apart the social fabric of how society works. Ripping apart the social fabric of how society works. Okay, the suicide rate is up as much as we are engaging all of the time. People are alone. And it is because we put so much, not only do we put so much energy, but we pull so much energy into social media. Real connections are on the back burner now. Now I need to unplug. And we have to examine that when we're talking about relationships.
No, I agree. And for me, I can't stand social media sometimes too. And I wish it wasn't a part of what I have to do for a living as a journalist and a media professional, because I could take a lead in shit too.
Right.
Please believe every month I'm like, I'm gonna say fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Go disappear and unplug and be in a small town, and y'all will never see me again in my coat. But so please, I am one of those. I can unplug from social media too. I just wanted to address this comment from Milton. And please know, I also feel like this. If you're one of those people who need to unplug, you need to have that same energy for your spouse as well. So it's not me just saying, okay, I'm gonna go away and I'm not gonna check in or whatever that is.
Right.
This is a reciprocal thing that both people in a relationship can do, and it's not a problem.
Exactly.
Because I think some people are seeing it one-sided.
On the flip side, we need to also be able to recognize when people are too obsessive.
Yeah.
And require too much of your time. I don't know if anybody saw the interview with Oprah and Mariah Carey, and she was talking about her marriage to Tommy Mottola and how she couldn't go nowhere without letting him know, couldn't say anything, couldn't see nobody, couldn't have no friends. Those are people you need to run from. You think that's love?
Right.
That's weakness.
That's right.
So while we're talking
I
about
agree.
this, we also need to recognize the flip side of possessive people who then see you as theirs and property and ownership.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Okay,
I
so
gotta run, guys. I gotta run. I love y'all. I'm gonna check out, so I'll watch the rest of the live on Facebook.
No, it's cool. We gonna wrap it up too, because we all need to watch this presidential debate.
Yes.
Exactly. Love y'all.
I want to say
Thank you
this
for
to
joining us,
piggyback.
Frank. So what you said, Angela?
I wanted to piggyback what he said, but do we have a minute?
Yeah, we do. I want to give everybody a closing remark.
Okay, so I want to piggyback on what he just said about when you find somebody that's pretty much narcissistic, like that person that what you were just saying, if you're in a relationship like that. I have ran into people. That's probably why I ain't never been in a relationship, because I don't settle ever. So this guy, like, what time you get off, where you going, what you doing, where you been, oh, you was live today. Whoa, nigga. So now he realized that he had a girl with a bigger bite than him. So I don't know which one of us hauled ass. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. But we did this. You know what I'm saying? Immediately, which what you're not gonna do is try to interrupt or control this life. And I'm wondering to myself a lot of times, do I need to soften that up, or should I stand firm on that?
Soften up.
Really? I think there should be some compromise, but I feel like, what are your deal breakers? How do you communicate? Like they said, love language. Like, I feel like whatever that list is, and then I feel like once you define that, you could then find that person.
You're never going to find the perfect person or perfect match. When
Agreed.
two lives are coming together, there needs to be some sort of compromise.
And I'm willing to compromise, but what I'm not going to compromise is my respect, my dignity, or my sanity.
Exactly, and not change. Compromise and change.
Okay, and the one. Okay, so
go ahead,
let me jump in real quick.
Yeah, go
ahead. I love her. I love you. I really do.
So one thing I will say is that, like, you know, I've been in a lot of relationships, and
that
you
might
know, the one that I'm in right now.
With me or somebody else?
Well, Well, Janae can tell you it's an interesting dynamic, but
Anthony, you ain't got the water, baby. If he deny me, it's all on you, bro.
I am 100% pro, autonomy, right? So I believe that everybody is their own person. Nobody owns anybody else, no matter what kind of situation that you're in. But you also do have to understand, especially when you're getting into something serious. And I don't, whatever, marriage is a made up thing that people have created to make things stick, right? You know what I mean? Like you can have the same commitment with somebody without a ring that you would with a ring.
So we got 1 minute. You have to take us into a whole.
But I'm sorry.
No, be part two. That need to be part.
The point I wanted to make is that, like, me and my significant other both, my fiance actually, we both live really, really far. We both live really, really far from our home base, right? Neither one of our families are close to where we are right now. So when things happen, emergency situations, like our next of kin is 1,400 miles away. So we got to move a little different than most people that can just call their cousins up in Miami Gardens or call their cousins in Boca, whatever. Like, we have to understand that, like, we are, again, like Karen said, we're building something together. We're growing. We're combining our two universes into one. So understanding that and respecting that. Now, like you said, if you're that type of person that's like has to operate one kind of way and you're not willing to budge on that, then you need to, you may have to reconcile with the fact that, like, while that person is currently with you and you think that they're happy, there's something that they may not be communicating with you in regards to, like, how they really feel about how you've not compromised and
I hear what you're saying, sir, but or also they are willing to adapt to what is going on with you, because they may already be in love with you or are feeling some type of way about you and want to make it work. So it might adapt to that. It may choose to move how you move. If you're okay with it, then you know what? Maybe I could be okay with it too. Maybe I don't need to talk. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? She got whatever she got going on. She hit me up when she hit me up. So I think it's all on each individual. I don't know where that individual at, honey, but
that's the risk. That's the risk that you take when you choose not to compromise, because people will sit there and say that they're okay with anything until they're not, right? And when they decide that they want to change their mind, like, can you really be mad? Like, yeah, like, you can be mad because you said, oh, you were okay with it for 2 years, right? But if they come to you one day and say, yo, I was doing it because I really loved you and I can't do it anymore, you got to understand that that's because you decided not to make a compromise for something that you really cared about.
I'll
say
this to what she just said. Go away. What she just said. If you make that compromise and then you just go ahead. All right. Well, I don't have to talk to her anyway. He don't really want to talk to me every day. Whatever. These days, like you said, where that person that he ain't here yet, he ain't born yet, or he gonna been aborted because it ain't these people.
You gotta leave Miami.
The first thing come to mind in these people is she got another nigga. First thing gonna come to your mind is he messing with whoever he messing with, and XYZ. That's the first thing that comes to people's mind in this society. You don't get anybody to say, "Oh, you was busy. I was thinking about you all day. I'm glad you finally called." No, hell no. So who that nigga was? Oh, you way up there seeing another nigga, or that nigga had you tied up?
Yes. No, but
yeah. But I called you when I got untied. When I got untangled.
Yes, he untied me and I keep the phone out. No.
When I got untangled, I gave you a call, nigga. I didn't have to, because he was all right.
You know what, y'all? Because I don't want us to miss this presidential day. I want everybody to give they closing arguments and a moral of the story. Anthony, we want to start with you. What is the closing argument? What's the moral of the story for you?
Closing arguments is this is what I try to do. I try to get somebody with like interests, like goals, and like personality. The more you feel you're more of like a best friend, somebody you can confide with in that mate, the better I think that your relationship and friendship will last, because that's the foundation base is a friendship underneath the layers of a relationship. Do what's best for your situation, because just like we're having this debate and this discussion that's subjective, We can have this same argument with women paying 50% of the bills versus guys who pay all the bills. We'll be here all night with that subject. So what you feel is best in your household. Get people that you feel like you can align up with. That way it creates less stress. And trust me, we have enough stress. The minute we walk out that door, we have enough stress on our shoulders. We don't want to walk back in that door with that same amount of stress. So that's just my closing thought.
Kelsina, what you got for us?
First, I want to start with I love the open dialogue and how everybody can hear what everyone's saying and take back whatever they want to take back and move forward. Second, I want to say I am, I guess, glass half full and half empty. I'm optimistic about it all, so I can understand in 24 hours not talking. I can understand you wanting to be, you know, in tune and in connection with your significant other. So like Mr. Anthony said, you find a person that's more like you, or who, if you are willing to adapt to your significant other, or your significant other is willing to adapt and compromise, then whatever works for y'all works for y'all. That's what I got.
Karen, what you got for me?
I agree with everything that's been said up to this point. I think if I use myself as an example, before I met my husband, I was living my like full 100% giant self. So anybody that came along that like wasn't comfortable with that, with me being that way, was afraid to approach anyway. So like with my husband, I think I knew that we were compatible because I was my like full self when we met. And I feel like this conversation is about freedom. I mean, I think when you get right down to it, it's about like the freedom to be and exist, to not be trapped. I find freedom in my husband, right? Like I feel like this power that I have as a woman, as a Black woman, as an individual, I feel like I have to set that power down sometimes. That should make me tired. And we've created this thing where I can do that, right? That's what's important to me. The check-in, not going 24 hours, it works for us because we are busy, so that communication is important. It's important for us to keep, just like I take a shower, I brush my teeth, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things that I do on a daily basis to make sure I stay fresh. I do the same thing for my relationship. My therapist taught me that. So, I feel like it's where do you find freedom, and I find freedom in making sure that we check in on a regular basis. Thank you for this conversation. It's been super helpful and very enjoyable. I love the voices on here. It's been great. Thanks.
It was fun. Angela Sizzle, what you got for us?
Well, since I've been curved by CJ and I can't see, Ben ain't checking for nothing I own. Anthony Malcolm, I'm getting ready to go read a couple of these woke books, and I'm gonna be woke by morning. So when you wake up, I'm gonna be woke. And we gonna patch up. We're gonna be compatible, and we just gonna be together. And I'm gonna call you every day. Sweat for the Lord. I'm gonna call you every day.
I love that.
And can I say one thing before I go? Because I saw that.
CJ, you could go. It's your turn.
My bad. Yeah. So I'll say two things real quick. One, I do believe, like you said, it's not a matter of needing to hit somebody up every 24 hours. It's wanting and choosing to, right? So like Karen said, I'm all about autonomy and freedom. Second thing, I saw in the comments, somebody was like, "Oh, I said that marriage is made up, but you're getting married." Understand that, like, I'm an agnostic, so I have no religious ties to anything whatsoever. But I do understand the legal aspects of getting married. If I get into a car accident, I'm in a coma, I don't want my mom to have to fly down from New Jersey to make that decision to pull the plug. The only way I'm going to do that is if I get married. So I can understand that how made up marriage is in the eyes of the government, and still understand that it needs to happen. It needs to be exist if I want to have that security and safety in a relationship that I'm spending the rest of my life with somebody. So yeah.
Well, just so I can finish because X may cut me off. I am willing I appreciate everything you said, because I'm now at this point where I'm at an apex where I think I want to try to start looking at liking people. I can't speak on relationship and marriage. That shit well. But starting to like people and let people in my world. So I take heed to everything that people that are actually in relationships say, especially you, CJ. You said that you've been in several. I gotta go with a motherfucker first. I ain't been there. I can't say I used to go with him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really just starting at square one. My life just wasn't structured the way you guys should believe me. But anyway, I thank you guys.
Yeah, Pastor Ben, take us home.
Look at me right here. If it don't fit, you must
Must quit. Amen. You better say it.
Find you a spirit that aligns with you. Sizzle, you remind me of my sister. You're gonna need to find a special person that aligns with you.
I'm a build me
you, and y'all go with it. There are people who can go 24 hours without talking. There are people who are married that live in separate states, separate countries. Find what works for you and go with God.
Yep.
Man, y'all, thank you. This was great. You know, y'all, I really appreciate y'all. If you got to click off, because I know being you're a political person too, so if you got to click off, but I'm gonna go big on the screen. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. I appreciate all my panelists, all my guests. You guys have been dope. I appreciate y'all for watching with me tonight. This was everything. Okay, we wear fur to fights. That's why I'm dressed up in fur. But I appreciate y'all. And just know, like Ben said, it's all about what you want and who you are as a person, and those things that you don't compromise on. And so you should go for that. This was a fun conversation. Everything is an opinion, and so don't take it to heart. You figure out what works for you and you go there. So y'all go from this debate to the presidential debate, and make sure you are informed. Make sure you watch and vote this election season. Remember to sign up for the High Low News email newsletter at High Low News Miami. Like and share. And again, thank y'all for joining us and chilling with me tonight in my fight fur. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for watching High Low News.
Bye.